Oh, okay, you're good.
Okay, real good.
I'm ready
Well,
for you.
thank you so
Can you
much.
hear
And once
me?
again,
Okay.
yeah, can you all hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good? Okay. Okay, I'll go. Well, for the next 30 minutes, we'll talk just a little bit about our business and how we share that with others, but how you prepare, I would say, to lay the foundation for success. Excuse me. But if we look at tonight, and once again, thanks to Candace and her team and Andrea and all of you that shared, Beth and Ken and Sue. And, I think if we look around the world today, everybody has that same feeling Ken did. I need to find something healthy. And we're all looking for something healthy. And so our marketplace is huge. It's everyone out there today. And our products, of course, are something that has been proven over time. I mean, we're nearly 30 years old with Juice Plus. And it's so simple, it's so convenient, it's affordable for people. And that if everybody is looking for something and they need it, they want it, it's affordable. Obviously, there's a business that's associated with it. And what always strikes me about the product that is fascinating, it's fascinated me about myself and the people that I see consume it. And I've been at this now for 33 years with the Juice Plus company. But what I see over and over and over is it helps the body handle whatever it has to handle much more efficiently. And the thing is, you can't tell by looking at people what they're dealing with. If I just listen to the stories tonight, and Beth said it, her life had gotten very, very uncomfortable. She may not have looked like she was struggling every day, but I know what it's like too to have those kind of symptoms that go along with how you can fall into just a pattern of between antibiotics or not eating just correctly or just the stresses of life. We wind up with things that make us very uncomfortable. They may not be deadly, but they're very uncomfortable. And so, our product really makes such a difference for people. And then you go through, all the way across, and you see somebody like Andrea, Mather Stowe, who was dealing with just a major, really a life-threatening illness. And so she's managed to have a really healthy life as well. And you really don't know exactly what that person is dealing with when you offer it. So it's really almost a moral obligation, I feel, to offer it to everyone. And I really, if you think about it, our whole business is based in the story. There's emotion that goes along with it. There's the joy that you feel when people really find an avenue to make a difference in their life. And so it's not just financial revenue, it's also emotional revenue. It's that part of, just the connection with other people and knowing that you can make a difference. And that has a huge reward in itself as well. And it just, again, I think it's so important to collect these stories because, and to really put yourself in a position like this event where you bring people to listen to them, because we all become support to each other when we, share stories. Because again, you may know someone who has similar situation. May know someone who has people that they love who are in similar situations, or just the reality that it can make a difference because your body will be able to handle whatever it needs to handle more effectively. So as we see people become excited about the product, as we see them look at it or listen to it, and it just makes sense. I think that's what Ken, I heard him say, is it just made sense. And for most everyone, you'll hear that frequently. Well, I listened to it and I watched it, or somebody told me about it, and it just kind of made sense. So if you think about then turning around and sharing it with others, taking on a partnership with our company, really, if you look at our job description, if we were to call it that, it's hard to call it a job because it's been a joy for all these years. But we're truly, our job description is that we're storytellers. Basically, we tell stories about our product and about our business and how that works. Just if you think about it, the story is the foundation to everything. We do it individually, one-on-one, as we talk to people. We do it in a group, as we've done tonight, to share with each other. We do it through various tools, whether it might be videos or, you know, uh, taped things like the Zoom conferences, things of this nature. There are just so many ways that people get together and share what they have. So if you are just starting your business, or if you have just become a partner, or maybe you're someone who's been with our company for some time and you're helping other people to start a business here. I love the products. I've not missed them in the 28 something years that we've had it. I've not missed that Juice Plus every day, because I woke up one day after about 8 weeks and just had a really healthy body, and I'm by far healthier here nearly 30 years later than I was, in those early years of my life, both childhood and young adulthood. So it's very exciting. But if you think about starting a business or helping someone else to start a business, then the story becomes foundational. And your story is going to be your story pretty much your whole career. There'll be things that will reshape it as you grow through the compensation plan. You may be starting out in a few months, you may top position of sales coordinator, and as you grow, those things will change just a little bit. But the basic things that your story really encompasses will be the same from the very beginning. And so what you're going to do is you're going to share a story that talks about, logic, but also emotion, and just the whole idea of why it would make sense to you, because it has been proven through, and I love social research where they research why people do what they do, but it's been proven that people will respond to potential even more than they will acquire gain. So just talking about the potential from the very beginning of what you see for yourself is really what lays the foundation for somebody else to step into a picture of what they could see for themselves. So let's pretend that you're brand new, you're a new teammate of mine, you're my partner, you're my brand new partner. And what are we going to do first? Well, the first thing I'm going to want to do is talk about, what is it that you really desire or want for yourself from a business standpoint. We're going to talk about the product too, but I want to know exactly what it is that you want, or at least an idea of what you want in your life. Why would you want this additional income? Why would you want to have a business here? Now, some people, it's just out of sheer passion of helping others, and that's fine, but we're still going to investigate that a little further. And, if you go to your mailbox and there's $500 there, what would that mean to you? What would it take for you to really be able to do things in your life that you would like to do? And what would that look like? What would those things be? So we're going to start thinking and talking about what you want for yourself in your future. But being a teacher for many years, and that was my profession before this became my profession, and I still feel like this is a teaching profession. It's just really sharing with people things that are educational, to share about the product, but especially to share about our business and how to develop a business. So the first thing I'm going to do, because I was a teacher, is I've got what I call my homework sheets, okay? And we're going to talk about your story and how you're going to really condense your thoughts about what your product means to you and what this business can be for you. You're going to condense those so that you can have it kind of at your tip of your tongue, you might say, as you talk to people and weave it into conversation. During the day, when you're talking to someone one-on-one, when you're sharing in a presentation, any of those things. But your story is really foundational to a really successful business, and helping your new person have a story and recognize their story from the very beginning is foundational. So it's a skill that you want to develop. And the truth of the matter is, from the very moment you make a decision to consume or buy Juice Plus, the very moment you make a decision that you want to pursue a Juice Plus partnership with our company, you have a story. Before you've swallowed a capsule, before you've started or learned a thing about it, you already have a story. So it starts when the decision is made, because you have thoughts, emotions, feelings, desires, all these things around why it's appealing to you. So let's talk first about what that product story would look like and how you condense it to where you have just enough to share to create curiosity. And then, of course, after interest, after people show interest, then you can always expand that story. And there's so many ways to do that too, and so many ways that, our company provides to support you in doing that. But that initial story is really an emotional transfer, you might say, from you to someone that you're talking about. People are going to listen to your feelings first, and they'll listen to that more than they will your words or your information about the product or the facts. Feelings come before facts. Facts always follow, but feelings come before facts. So what I'm looking for when I put that story together with that new person is I want to capture what the feelings are, how the decision was, them to be able to share that potential with people, what they see for themselves. So the first question would be, and you might want to write these down for yourself and answer them. And I ask the person many times, I'll say, I'm going to be the secretary and I'm going to take notes for you. We're going to put your story together now. So the first thing I would do is say, what attracted you to the Juice Plus product? And so that's one thing you want to write down right now. What attracted you? Why did it appeal to you? And it should be the first couple of statements that really come up to mind, the emotions that come up first. What attracted you to Juice Plus? Um, Many times I'll hear, just what we heard tonight. Well, it just made sense to me. It's something that, I want good health. We can say I was looking for healthy. I was looking for something that was going to help me. Everyone said that tonight, I think, in some form or another. Beth saying, after she told me about it, it made sense. There's always a feeling that goes along with the information that you're getting. So it made sense. I was looking for something that was healthy. For myself, why? The next question is, why did you decide to take it? So there's an initial feeling, and then why did you decide to take it? For myself, I remember thinking, it does kind of make sense. This makes sense, but the thing about for myself is I always had those health issues that they were not terminal, but I was never healthy. I kind of lived in the gray twilight of the in between. But what was behind me, as far as in my mind, was that everybody in my family went out early. You might say they passed on really too early in life. And we seem to have in our family heritage almost every kind of illness you could think of. So I always felt like those health monsters were nipping at my heels. And I thought, if there's any possibility, that this could make a difference. And so it was worth a try. It was worth a try. And for me, what happened was, and I heard this tonight too, that it was about 8 weeks. I was one of those people, I had fibromyalgia. I really caught everything that came along. I thought I was healthy because I got over bronchitis twice a year. I was just, I had a lot of issues as far as just digestive issues, things of that nature. But I thought, well, I guess all this is kind of normal because I had lived like that so long. So after that 8 weeks, and I woke up one day and I thought, boy, this is a good day. And it's really been a good day ever since. And we're now almost 30 years down the road. So as I said, I'm healthier today than I was that length of time ago. So for me, when I'm going to share it with people, one of the things I'm going to say is that, I just feel so blessed to have come across this because I can depend on feeling good every day. And I never could depend on that, my whole life before. I love the fact that I can depend on feeling good every day. And then usually there's going to be a question, of some sort. well, why? What made the difference? And so at that point, you share your heart story. Well, I heard about this and it made sense to me for this reason. I know I don't get enough fruits and vegetables, or whatever that feeling is, whatever. So you want to search your heart and your mind for what it is that attracted you and why you made the decision, because it's those emotions that people are going to connect to. I mean, once I realized that I might have some real control, I guess you would say, over my future health. And we've learned so much since that you really do. You can, have that control. It was very, very exciting. So it made it very easy to share that with other people. And the third thing that I'm going to ask that new team member and that I want to help establish, and I hope that you all will integrate this into your story, is I ask them, why would you continue to take this forever? Well, for myself, I love that feeling that there would be some measure of control, that it was protection, that, I mean, it's been so many years since I've worried about those health monsters that used to bother me all the time because I didn't know when it was going to catch up with me. But why does a person want to stay consistently on a product? It's very important to tell that part in the very beginning of your story and to teach others to do that, because you want people to make a lifestyle change, a decision that's going to be one that'll stay with them forever for many reasons. One, of course, is consistency of consumption of the Juice Plus product is what ensures that that level of health that you achieve is going to be maintained. But also, it lays the foundation for that person listening and stepping into the potential of really good health to realize that it is something that is ongoing, that it's not you take it for a month or 2 months and it's food. I expect to eat 3 days, I mean 3 times a day for the rest of my life. So, why wouldn't you expect to consume this food, this concentration of really wonderful, pure nutrition, every day? As you share that in your story, you're laying the foundation to help that person who's listening make a decision to have this as something that they're going to look at as a lifestyle change, a life choice, that it will be part of their, food budget, as you heard Candace say, that it's part of the food intake on a regular basis. So helping that person identify their feelings about the product and then condensing those feelings into short statements. Frequently when I'm working with someone, they'll say, well, it's got, 30 fruits and vegetables and they give me facts. And I'll say, well, we know all that. What is it though? What is it that you really feel like it's going to do for you? And I'll never forget one girl once, she was almost, came to tears. She said, I'm so terrified of cancer. She said, everybody in my family, has gone out early with it. And I just know that it's going to be my fate as well. And of course, we can't guarantee anything, but we know that if your body has good nutrition, it's going to, have a better chance, no matter what the, background might be. So again, it's looking for that point or that wound, maybe. I've heard some distributors or some team members call it the wound or the fear. It's looking for that place where there is an emotional connection so that the person can then realize that there is some possibility that they can do things for themselves that might be, much better than they could do otherwise. And that's why all the stories that you hear in events like this become so important, because now it's not just your story, or it's not just me telling my story to someone I know. It's gathering all those stories, having locations like this or gatherings like this where people can hear from each other, because they're all going to be a little different. We're all different. And the results that my body needed might not be the same results that another body needs. And so it's going to address, the body is smart enough to address those things that are particular to you. But it's very exciting when you hear other people stories and you realize the potential of what's available. I'll share something else with you too, is that in the 30, almost 30 years, we're about 28 and a half years now into the Juice Plus product. And of course, it's a very simple concept. We didn't invent fruits and vegetables and berries and omegas. We just happen to have a wonderful way in which, we've created the delivery for that in a very concentrated form. But we've never had a complaint about the product in all this time. People, there's nothing there that can be anything but pure and wonderful. Uh, People complain about each other once in a while, but they don't complain about the product. Okay, so know that you have something that is really very pure to offer people, and it can help in so many ways. So that story from the very beginning is really important, that the person get really comfortable with identifying their feelings, being able to share their feelings. Feelings also create a vulnerability for people to listen to it. If facts, we're overloaded with facts in the world today. Anything I want to know, I can ask Siri. Okay, I can go to information that's readily available at fingertips, but it can't transfer feeling. And so feeling is really where the connection happens. And so you want to not only identify your own feeling about what you have to offer and why it's valuable to you, because that's really truly what we're sharing, is the value of what we have to offer. So if you can communicate that value with feeling instead of information, because information can follow at any time, then you're usually going to have the interest for a person to go further and find as much information as they want to. But it's the feeling they're going to connect to. It's the potential for their own health and well-being that they're going to be inspired by. And really the same thing happens for our business. You think business, and for a long time it was, like, how do you put feeling into something that people get MBAs for, But here again, we are business minded, and yet we're heart driven. And I think that would be an important combination to keep those thoughts in alignment. We're business minded and we're serious business minded. I mean, I never dreamed when I started this that it could become the huge business that it is today, that it could have, I could have not only the benefits of any major CEO for any huge company, but that I could have a business that stretched across the world. And we all can. We don't usually have that vision right in the very beginning, but if you take this on as a serious business and you treat it, with the respect that a serious business deserves, you're going to wind up over time, if you're consistent. Those two words are very important: consistent and stay connected. And we can talk a little bit about those. But if you're really consistent with your efforts, you're going to wind up with a massive business. But again, business minded, but heart centered. And I think that, heart connection is very important. So again, we're going to go back to very simple questions to help to identify the business story. Your business story is very important, and it's one that most people are maybe a little more shy about the business than the product story. The product is a very simple story that it's easy to put that emotion around. It's very easy to really, as I said, it just makes everything in me smile when I've known Andrea Matherstowe for years, and to, know and see what that's done for her life all those years is very empowering. To hear Beth, and because I've had similar, struggles as far as my whole digestive system is concerned, and to know that it was the answer for me, and I know what that felt like, so you can get very excited and emotional about things that can make a huge difference. To see somebody, like Sue, who was struggling with something that obviously her doctor was even having trouble helping her manage, and being able to find an answer for that. That's so easy for the emotion to be transferred. But let's talk about transferring the emotion with the business story. Because once again, people respond to potential much more so than they do acquired gain. Now, acquired gain, meaning, your business can grow, be large, create financial security. All those things are not only desirable, they can happen, and we do need that. And but the initial connection, if it can be one that is potential, so the person can step into a potential they see for themselves, and also heart-centered, so that they can feel that emotion of what it has to offer. So again, the questions would be, and go back in your own heart and mind, what really attracted you to our business? I have to say for myself, I wasn't particularly attracted because I didn't understand it. I didn't think that people did well in this type of thing, whatever. But financially, I was desperate. So there was an attraction to something that looked like there was a possibility, but the need was great. The attraction for others may be different. It might be that you're so impassioned by what you've seen that you want to help others. It may be that, you're thinking part-time, or to have the extra money to pay for the product so that you can consume it. It could be huge, overwhelming financial need, which is something that was definitely um, my situation. But whatever it was that attracted you, look for what it is from the heart center. For me, it was very important to me that I find a way to send my children to college. I was suddenly single. My parents were both gone by that time. A teacher's salary in Louisiana there was no way I would be able to stay above struggle and send my children to school as well when they graduated from high school. So it was something that was very important to me. And it was, I wanted it badly enough. And again, we're back to desire. People will do more for desire or their wants than they will for their needs. So it's important again to get to that heart center of what is so important to you that it'll be worth your time and effort. And that's why when I started tonight, I said, I'm always going to ask that question. If this blank wall over here was your financial future, what would you like to put in that picture over the next 5 years? And so you're looking for what it is that means a lot to the person. And then my next question would be, what are your options to make that happen? But that is for me to try to work at getting that heart feeling of something that they really desire. So what attracted you to the Juice Plus business? Whatever that was, heart-centered, heart-driven. Why did you decide to become a partner? So that's the part that says, okay, I really wanted the education for my children. I wanted us to be able to stay above struggle. I didn't want to be in fear all the time. That was the feeling around it. But I decided to become a distributor because I looked around, I listened to the stories, and I thought, if those people can do it, and I should be able to do it. And I listened to my sponsor, and he's, talking about making really, to me at the time, it sounded like outrageous money. But I thought if he could do that, I know I'm bound to be smart enough to at least do a portion of that, because it felt like there was possibility. So what I did was, by hearing what was going on around me, by hearing the stories, I stepped into the potential of what I thought was a possibility for myself and my family. And then, because my desire was so strong to have that money for education, to have it for, things that we might need, I wasn't thinking about even extras. I was thinking about, just what we needed to survive. Uh, that was the desire. And so then the next question that I ask people is, if this does turn into what you would most hope it to be, what is it that you see for yourself and your family? What would you really like to happen? What would this do for you, so that you really help a person step into what are their dreams? What are they going to be able to do in their life that they wouldn't be able to do otherwise? Now, this can be on any level. I've had people start that they had huge businesses. Sometimes those businesses were threatened for some reason or another, and they wanted to replace large incomes. Sometimes it was very, they just wanted to pay, make sure that they could maybe take their house note or their car note, and that be something that was totally covered because it would give them relief. For others, it was to save for retirement. For some people, their income was very large, but their time was gone. There was no time. And so it was their time they wanted. So you're trying to help a person look at, if I could reshape or if I could grow in some way, what would that look like? What would those tangible things be? I always write all this down for one reason, is that I'm going to, and we have this on, you can do it on your on your computer or your iPhone, and keep it in a file there. I'm still old school. I like to write it. And then I keep a folder so that when I'm working with and talking to that person, and there is a day that, maybe they're down or they're whatever, they are struggling, we can go back and we can revisit what it is that the heart's looking for, that the person really desires and wants. And I can take them back to that part that says, but we're committed to do this. This is going to happen, and we're going to do it together. That's another thing too that I'll share with you here in closing. There are 2 or 3 words that have made a huge difference for me my whole career. One is, would you help me? Now, people will help you long before they'll even buy from you. Okay. So help me. I'd like to share with you, and this was in the early days, especially. I want to tell you a little bit about, this product Juice Plus. How do you think people would respond to that? Or I might have said, could you help me? I'd like to, I'm just starting here. I'm really looking for people who, want to start a business. And I'm looking for people to partner with our company. Do you know anybody who might want to make an extra $500 a month? I'm looking to put a team together. The word help. The other word that has been very, very powerful is together. Together we're going to do this. We're going to be the best there is together. We're going to be a hot team. We're going to, whatever it is, but together. It's never you or me or I. We're going to do it together. Those words have been very, very powerful always, is to, ask for help, to offer help, and to always look at together. The 2 words that I think are foundational to building a business is consistency. And you choose the activities that you love and you want to do. I love telling the business story because it helped me just step out of financial fear. It was turned out to be a wonderful experience. And doesn't mean there weren't struggles along the way. I mean, I could probably tell you about a few tearful reactions, especially, as the whole thing began to come together. But, and over the years, but the happiness certainly has more than outweighed the challenges. But the challenges make you a little stronger. And the great thing about the stories is the stories are going to be about people's successes, but also about their struggles. So that again reinforces the fact that, it's very doable, it's very real, and we've been here for a really, really long time. So consistency, you choose the activity you love, telling the story, whether it's product, business, I'm always telling both. And then you structure that strategy, your own design strategy of how you're going to go about doing that. How are you going to get the story out there, whatever manner in which you decide, one-on-one, groups together, social media, coming to events, things of that nature, but it's all about the story. And so you are consistent with that activity and you stay connected. Connected is the reason I have the Monday night call, is because it was a way for me to discipline myself as far as staying connected to people. And we've not missed a Monday night in 30 years. This call, a way to bring people to hear the stories to share and stay connected. Because when you stay connected and immersed in the energy and the synergy of what this is about, it kind of fills your fuel tank up every week. And you encourage people to do that with you, and you do it with your team so that people continue to, I guess you would say, carry the fire stick, so to speak, of the energy that goes along with our business. And as we close, and I'm a few minutes over, and I'll say this over and over because I think it's so important to hear, we've never had a market that was this receptive. We've never had a time when we were more relevant. We've never had a time where we were so needed as far as being the people to bring the answer at a time that is very challenging. As Ken said, he was looking to be healthy. Everybody's looking to be healthy and looking for support in that health. And the real issue today with that need for additional income is forever growing. And when you, again, have a product that everybody needs, wants, and can afford, because if it's a challenge in any way, you share it with others, you can have a business to support it. But definitely, if there's the product being what it is today, the ability for people to create additional income with it is huge, and for you to do that as well. So I wouldn't leave a stone unturned at this point. This, next year, 2 years, the effort you put in will pay you really for the rest of your life if you choose to continue. And I'm totally convinced of that. I've had too many years at this to see any different because of not only our background, but what our future has to hold. So been a pleasure to be here with everyone. Next week, we'll probably have a little surprise NMD with you. We do that periodically, but someone's going to come on with me next week. I think you'll enjoy. So invite people back, be part of our connection together to grow together. And thanks to all of our speakers tonight and Dr. Candace Corson and all of those that joined her this evening and all of you on the line. So we'll say goodnight. Good night.
Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.